Guys, guess what we're doing today? We're gonna be doing the Am I the A-hole? I'm pretty sure if you don't know what it is, basically on Reddit, people send in like confessions and stories of like things that happen in their life, and you basically have to decide like, are they in the wrong? Like, who's in the wrong here? I'm excited to do this. I've seen a lot of my favorite YouTubers doing this, and I'm like, let me just hop on it because I'd be following trends. I just like doing what people are doing. So we're gonna do it. We're gonna catch the a-holes. We're gonna catch them. Am I the a-hole for not paying attention to the kids at my niece's 4th birthday party when the other adults left the room without making me aware that I'll be alone with 7 kids, which resulted in an injured kid? Wait, no, because, okay, let's start off with the title in itself. Taking care of 7 kids when you did not, like, that's already law. And the fact that she wasn't even aware that like no one was like there. Okay, let's just keep going. I, 35 female, love kids. Always worked in childcare jobs. During gatherings of family or friends, I somehow always ended up in the kids' room, helping the birthday boy and his friends assemble the new Playmobil fortress because he asked me for help or something like that. While the other adults eat cake around the table, nothing's wrong with them. I just wonder how I got myself sitting on the floor surrounded by tiny humans. But lately, my health took a nosedive. Burnout and other stuff. I'm no longer good with noise and crowds or focus. I'm on disability because I can't work. My family knows this. When my niece had her birthday, I was invited, but I had a really bad day. I knew their apartment would be too crowded and noisy for me during the party, so I told my brother I had to cancel and come the day after. Just being in a room full of kids is already enough for me. And I don't really have any health things that like give me issues with like being around children. So like, props to her. Being around slimy, grimy iPad kids, oh my God, like I can't imagine. When I came over, I sang happy birthday with them, gave my niece her birthday hug and gift, and sat myself, and sat myself in the living room with them eating cake. The kids were playing. I didn't know the guests and parents. It was as, oh my God, I cannot breathe for the life of me. Okay. I didn't know the guest parents, and it was overwhelming as I expected. So I snuck a piece of cake and zoned out a little. I don't know how much time has passed, but the next thing I knew, there was a scream from my niece, and when I looked up, there were no more adults around. My niece had fallen down from a bar stool and had climbed up and had a bloody knee. Nothing more serious, luckily. When I got to her, the other adults, I keep reading like this, it's helping me like read the lines anyways, because she's not really like writing this correctly, so it's not me. When I got to her, the other adults rushed in from the balcony a room over. My niece got checked over, got a band-aid, and was already playing again 5 minutes later. But my brother asked me what happened and why I didn't prevent her from climbing. And when I told him I zoned out, he got angry and blamed me for her accident. She already told her family that she already had like health issues that kind of prohibit her from like noises, like liking noises, loud sounds. Like they should know this. It's a few days later and I got several messages and calls from family how irresponsible and a-hole I am because I was not paying attention to the kids. I thought it wasn't my fault because I wasn't made aware that I was the only adult left in the room, but I'm beginning to doubt my point of view. Somebody should have told her like, hey, we're all stepping out, can you watch the kids? That's how I think it should have went. Somebody should have said something. Even if she didn't have any issues with like noise and like being around children, I still think you should tell somebody that we're leaving. Can you please watch the kids? Like, you can't get mad at somebody else for not watching your kid. You know what I mean? I don't think she's the a-hole in this situation. She is not responsible for these people's kids. Like, it's not your kid. Like, I understand being the but they're not her kids. Like, sorry that you left your kid with some random. And in here, she also stated that she didn't know the guest's parents. She didn't know the kid's parents. So it's like, how are you leaving your kid with a random stranger? Doesn't make any sense. Okay, you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom her husband went to his family to pressure me into asking him to be the father of the bride for my wedding? Whoa. Am I the a-hole for telling my mom her husband? So you're like, okay, so you're...
What would you do if when you're okay, so he said yes would go?
When I got engaged, I, 24 female, asked my mom if she would walk me down the aisle and have a mother-daughter dance during my reception. Okay, usually it's like the father-daughter, but like wedding should be whatever you want it to be. It's your wedding, you do what you want. She enthusiastically said yes. We told my stepdad and he said he was happy for my mom. He and my mom started dating when I was 6. He moved in when I was 9 and they got married when I was 10. When my mom first started dating him, he sat me down and told me he wasn't ever going to replace my dad, and that if he ever pressured me to do something I was uncomfortable with, like call him dad, I would tell her and she would nip it in the bud. Who says that? Do people say that? Nip it in the bud? What does that even mean? I might just be dumb or never heard of it, but anyways, she made it clear our relationship didn't have to fit anyone else's mold, and she reminded me of this again when he moved in and when they got married. She also asked for my feelings on things every step of the way. I liked my stepdad and I cared about him, so it was easy to agree with him moving in and for them getting married. Okay, so it seems like they have a really good mutual like relationship. It's like, okay, like you can marry my mom, but it's like you're not my dad, but I also respect you as a person. Simple, easy, clear. Instructions clear. But we got along great. It was just never the same as the relationship with my mom. Simple. Like, it's just mutual. They just exist accordingly. I always dreamed of my mom walking me down the aisle and dancing with me at my wedding. She was there and always put me first, and we're our own team. I always appreciated her efforts to keep me involved in his family, or the good parts anyways. A few weeks ago, my stepdad's parents texted me a weird comment about father of the brides needing a little extra detail to go into their wedding suit. It came out of nowhere and I didn't reply because I honestly had no idea what it was really about. A few days later, after I saw them, they asked why he wasn't in rehearsal for our father-daughter dance. I told him there was nothing to rehearse and my mom was dancing for me. I said my stepdad and I will dance at a different point of the day. They said father of the bride is the dance, not the mother of the bride. Let's stop right there. Like, as I stated in the beginning, someone's wedding is their wedding. You cannot tell somebody how to run their wedding. Like, if I want to dance with my mom, I'm gonna dance with my mom. I don't have to dance with my stepdad. You know what I mean? I just hate when people tell other people how to run what they want to run. Like, if she wants to do what she wants to do, she's gonna do what she's gonna do. I told them he wasn't gonna have that traditional role. They said I shouldn't be ashamed, and I humiliated my stepdad, and he was so upset that he went to them. I spoke to my stepdad and he confirmed he went to his parents with the hope I would see the error of my ways, and he didn't want to piss off mom by saying something directly, but he told me he deserved to be the father of the bride and not stepfather of the bride. I told my mom what he did and she was furious. Of course my stepdad was upset with me, but his parents were pissed and told me I ran to my mommy like a little girl instead of a woman. I don't think that she's the a-hole in this situation. It is her wedding. She can do whatever she wants. And it's not like she threw the stepfather to the side and said like, you're worthless, you're nothing, like stand to the side. Like, she still gave him some like role. She literally said like, we're gonna dance at some other point, but the traditional dance, I want it with my mother, which makes sense. Like, that's her literal blood mom. And for them to get upset doesn't make any sense. His parents were pissed and said that she ran to her mommy like a little girl, as if the stepfather didn't run to his mommy. It's her wedding, her decision. Easy, simple as that. There's no negotiating about it. Like, she's not the a-hole right here. Am I the a-hole for not making my daughter dinner? I, 36 female, have husband, 40 male. My husband has had a hard 2023. He was diagnosed with cancer and had surgery, then chemo. He's done treatment now, but still feels bleh. Today, we all went to the store as a family. I had bent over to grab the handbasket, which had 2 liters of water in it. As I bent over to grab and stand up, I felt something pop in my back and oh, it hurt. If I were standing or moving, it hurt more. I had stood over the stove to make my younger daughter a quesadilla and made one for myself at the same time. The oldest had leftovers in the fridge from the night before. As I'm cleaning up, she said, if you're making more, can I get one? I kindly say, honestly, it was super hard to make the 2 I did with how my back is still really hurting me, but I'll sit at the table beside the stove and tell you how to make one. Backstory, she refused to make her own food unless it can be done in the microwave. She looked at me like, no, walked away. Am I the a-hole for not standing longer to make her one? I'm assuming this is the 23-year-old female daughter. If you cannot make yourself some food, like, how are you 23 years old and you can't make yourself some food? Like, it's not like the woman did not want to make it for you. She literally could not. It was already painful for her to do it the first time and the second time For her to stand and go through that pain to do it again, it's like she literally said, like, I'm sorry, my back hurts, like it really hurts, but I can still help you. I'll sit by the stove and literally show you how to make it. Like, and you say no. Why are you a grown woman refusing to cook for yourself? You can make your own food. You're not the a-hole for that. Like, she's just lazy. Am I the a-hole for pretending I don't speak English to the AT&T salesman at Costco? Oh my God. Before this even begins, sometimes I'll be at grocery stores like Costco or like BJ's or something. There'll be those people who are like clearly selling things, even at Target, like near the phone section. I hate interacting with those people and they obviously want to sell me something. It's like clearly I don't want it and I feel so rude ignoring them, but it's like, so I'm like, I'm just here for toothpaste. Like, I don't want to buy whatever you're selling me. Already, I'm on this person's side. I'm Chinese American and was born in the US, so English is my native language. I know just enough Chinese to order at a restaurant. Anyways, I was at Costco yesterday doing my usual Saturday run, and there was one of those AT&T salesmen trying to get you to switch phone carriers. He was very aggressive in trying to stop everyone. Oh my God. I hate when they are aggressive. No, I understand that's part of their job, but oh my God, I hate it. Like, that makes me not even want to go. When they keep pushing and pushing for you to change your phone, it's like, leave me alone. I'm just trying to shop. Normally, I don't make eye contact and keep moving. Same, like, don't look at them. But there was a traffic jam on the main aisle as someone had dropped a potted plant and they were cleaning up the dirt. The guy comes up to me and started asking me what phone carrier I have, and I pretend I don't hear him. And then he walks right in front of my car and asks again. Okay. So now when we're doing too much, I understand it's your job, but when you're literally following them while they're literally trying to just enjoy their day and just shop, that's when it becomes too much. Because why are you getting in front of this man's cart? Now you're doing too much. Like, I will run you over. I told him I don't speak English in perfect English, and the dude says to me in a hostile way, I'm only doing my job. That's uncool, man. I kind of shrugged and moved along. When I told my brother about it, he sided with the salesman, but I don't think he needed to be. I don't think he's an a-hole. Like, brother thinks he is, but I don't think so. I would have done the same thing. I don't think I would have pretended I don't speak English, but I feel like I just do everything I can to avoid having a conversation with those people. So you're not the a-hole. Like, me personally, I think so, because I be doing everything I can to avoid talking to those people. I hate it. So I understand what you mean. So you're not the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for crying at my birthday party? My birthday is so sad to me. Like, they're actually really sad. Like, I don't remember the last birthday I did not cry. Oh my God, that's so depressing. That's so depressing. I'm okay. I promise. I'm okay. I, 17, have a very financially well-off family. My mom and dad have very high-paying jobs at a really big company. My parents have always said that they want me to have a good life, and to them that means they want me to have lots of money. My parents are really present in my life. They're always at work or at a dinner party for their work. I'm home alone pretty much all the time, or with my best friend Alex. Alex has a smaller house and really nice parents, so I hang out there a lot. Once I was at Alex's house for a whole week because my parents didn't notice I was gone. Every year I ask my parents for the same thing for my birthday, to spend one afternoon together, but instead I always get a text saying they have to stay at work late and I can go pick myself out a present. Oh no, I kind of feel him, because it's like picking yourself out a present, it just doesn't feel the same. It's like you want it to come from your family. He just wants to spend time with his family. Like, I get it. My 17th birthday was last week and I asked my mom and dad if I could go to arcade and the movies to see a movie I really wanted to see. All the days leading up to my birthday, my parents said that was fine. They were going to meet me at the arcade at 5:30 when they got out of work. Okay, so they said they were meeting him at 5:30. Keep that in mind. I was waiting in my car at the arcade until 7, waiting for them to get there. I drove home and waited in the living room for them to get home. They walked in the door at 8:45 and barely acknowledged me. They walked past the living room into the kitchen and poured themselves a glass of wine. What is this? What is this? I followed them into the kitchen and looked at them standing there talking to each other. I cleared my throat and my parents looked at me. My dad mumbled an apology and said they had gotten caught up at work. He tossed me a small box with car keys inside. He told me I could have his old car because he just bought a new one. He smiled and gave me a half hug. I said thanks and my mom asked if something was wrong. This is just sad. I asked them that they left me hanging on my birthday again, and my dad groaned and said to man up. He said that birthday parties are stupid and I should be thankful that I got a nice car. I told him I'm super grateful for the car, but I just wanted to hang out with him and my mom. My mom said that she wouldn't believe what an ungrateful boy she raised. This is not real. This is not real. Before I knew what was happening, I was crying. I told them that all I've ever wanted for my birthday is to have a normal day with them, but they never did that. I cried even more and went to my room. I told Alex about what happened and he was pissed. He said I'm so out of touch for crying when I got my own car. I explained that I wasn't upset about the car, but he said I'm an entitled a-hole. I really wanted to know if I'm being out of touch or annoying, so any feedback is appreciated. Sorry if this sounded stupid. That was a lot. That was a lot. Okay, whoa, let's unpack this here. All he wanted to do was to spend time with his family, and he got a car. I'm not in a position where my parents can just drop a car and be like, here you go for your birthday. Like, no. I understand where people are coming from, where people are saying like, oh, like be grateful you got a car. But it's like, all he wants to do is hang out with his family. For his parents to like say like, we're gonna meet at this time and just leave him hanging and just say, here you go, and throw him something. Here's a car, sorry, but like, here's money. Like, I just think that's not fair, and that's not being a parent. Like, that's not fair at all. Yeah, I don't think he's the a-hole. Am I the a-hole for calling my friend's behavior toxic? Me and my friend, let's call her Sarah, met on Stan Twitter. They met on Stan Twitter 2 years ago, and although we weren't close first, became good online friends after a while and basically started texting every day. After a while, however, things in our friendship started feeling very pressuring for me. She would make tweets that feel sad every time I would tell her I'm attending a social function or I'm going to uni, and every time I text her I'm going out, she would send me a sad face emoji and say, I hope you're home soon so you can rest, which made me feel strange because I'm a uni student and everything that doesn't involve studying is rest to me. This didn't seem like a huge problem to me until she started working again at hours I am sleeping, 2 a.m. until 11 a.m. Or she'd get mad at me I'm not always texting her in the bus or in class, and then if I wasn't able to do that, she would expect me to text her a lot at night. When I got a boyfriend, she started getting angry at me that I'm going on dates with him once a week instead of talking to her, since I'm supposedly putting him first before her, and would get angry at me and scold me if I stayed up until 1 a.m. to have video chats with him. This is already like some weird behavior. This is weird behavior. I cannot do an overbearing friend, like especially if they aren't friends in person. And I have had a handful of online friends and we've talked every day, but life happens and you know, you're busy in your real life. Somebody cannot be on their phone 24/7 texting. Like I've had some internet friends who we've talked every single day, but today we don't really talk that much because we simply have lives outside of social media, outside of our phones. So this is just weird behavior from her. It's got pressuring for me because all this while I haven't been able to text her. I still would text her any chance I got every day. At a certain point, I'd get nervous breakdowns because she'd get upset at me for the slightest things, going to sleep after doing my uni work since she stayed up for me as she expected me to text her. Just because she stayed up for you doesn't mean she's expected to do that. And I'm not saying like if somebody does something for you, like you're not expected to, but it's like college is hard. If they are doing work, going to classes, like studying, and they just want to rest and lie down and sleep, it's no, they gotta text you. Like, no. Mind you, it was 2 a.m. and I had to wake up at 6 a.m. to be able to catch my bus at 7 a.m. for uni that day, going to bed at 10 p.m. some days, etc. And one day when we had guests over at 2 p.m., I had been texting her that day in the morning and in the afternoon every chance I got. And I was able to have some me time, and I wanted to spend revising my oral exam that I'd have 2 days later. She sent me a paragraph over how upset she is and don't value our friendship because I'm revising instead of texting her. So you're mad that she's studying instead of texting you. What type of friend are you? What are you doing? And it's clear that every chance that she gets, she is texting you. Sorry she's not texting you every single day. Like, sorry it's not the same as when it started, when you guys were like literally chronically online, having lives, and she has a life now and you're mad. I told her I find that weird since we did text today and I was still replying to her just within 5 to 10 minute differences, but she insisted friends are part of daily life. I disagree with that sentence. You cannot talk to your friends, some people every single day, especially if you're online. You can't talk to people every single day. You have college, you need time for yourself, you have activities, hobbies, you have work. Like, how do you expect, like, it told her I found her possessive and controlling. I wish she'd be more supportive over me having a social life and wanted to do well, as I felt she wanted to isolate me from those aspects of my life. So am I the a-hole in this situation? I feel like an iffy person, to be honest, and I genuinely feel like I suck at being a friend. I don't think you suck at being a friend because I think you're doing everything you can. I do believe you should make time for your friends and you should be talking to them every day, but at the same time, she's being way too overbearing right now. You have so many things that she needs to accept that like you have things that are going on in your life. If this was an in-person friendship, it would be kind of different. But the fact that this is over text, no, she's being way too overbearing. So I don't think you're the a-hole right here. I think both parties need to respect that other people have a life. And that doesn't mean that you should never catch up with them or like ask them how they're doing or talk with them, but it's like you kind of have this respectful like boundary and trust that like when we need each other we will be there, but at the same time we have our own life and that has nothing to do with you. Okay, I think that's all for the am I the a-hole. A lot of them were really long. Let me know if you have any other video ideas that you want me to do. Like, did you like this? Like, is it fun? Reading these was kind of hard. I'm still learning how to talk in the camera and have my own opinions because sometimes I'm like reading and I'm like, I don't know what I'm reading. I'm just like saying words, like I don't really know what I'm saying, but I kind of like this video. Okay, so basically that's all for the am I the a-hole. So yeah, leave comments below anything you want to see, if you want to do this again, if you like this. But yeah, okay, bye.